Oh, they fight
Kids on a roof
kids.
rack. Are you trying to get us taken off air?
Not Kill was my home circuit growing up.
Welcome to Is It Fast Live, the talk show that, like a good kilt, is long enough to cover everything but short enough to keep your interest. Talking of kilts, I can't do this without my trusty old pal. It's Other Stew. Good evening, mate. How are you?
Oh, not too bad, thank you. Thank you for that introduction. Delighted to be back here once again. Well, what can I say? Has it really been a week?
Apparently so. Apparently so. It's been one Earth week since the last time we got together on what is our regular slot, 7 o'clock every single Wednesday, right here on Is It Fast? What do we have in store tonight? A great question. We have a coach-built Lotus. You can now be shot at in a Mercedes and feel rather smug about yourself. And we head to the Firth of Forth to show you that racing around in Scotland can be done both at Knockhill and on water.
Oh.
Stick with us for this and much more. But make sure that you do follow us, subscribe, tick that little bell button, follow us on Is It Fast's Facebook page or anywhere else that you consume your delectable content and delights to make sure that you don't miss a single live episode of Is It Fast or any of the other beautiful things that we get up to right here. Should we get into it?
Yeah, why not?
Hi, I'm Stuart, and I'm the host of Is It Fast, the podcast that talks about planes, trains, and automobiles. No, not the film from the 80s with that podgy fellow who was a very good actor.
We start this week with something pretty cool. This is, if I can press play, this is the Radford 62-2 coach-built Lotus Special, involved by or built in partnership with a couple of famous people. So Ant Anstead off of the TV has got a lot to do with this, along with Jensen Button. So that's pretty cool. And designer Mark Stubbs. But this is the Lotus 62-2. It's been developed by the US-based Radford outfit and revived the prolific British coach building mark, founded in 1948, founded in exactly the same year as Lotus. And this is probably why they have chosen a Lotus to be their first coach built car. They are going to be building around about 62, if not exactly 62 of these, 430 brake horsepower, and a claimed power to weight ratio of around 1:1. So that makes it pretty goddamn quick. We have no idea how much it's going to cost, but I imagine because there's only 62 of these and they're coach built, it's going to be expensive, and they're probably sold out already. But again, they haven't really given us any in-depth figures, but it's a really nice way to start tonight's show. What do we think of the Radford coach built 62-2?
You know what? This is just an absolute beautiful car. I am a bit of a sucker for the classic Lotus look. It is just very cool. I love the LED headlights that they're going to be putting on this.
Yes.
Some big heavyweights behind it as well. Jensen Button, racing royalty, I would say, or at least a Duke. But the design based on the classic Marlboro fag packets, but adding in gold leaf as well. That is really smart. You touched on this brilliant power to weight ratio, only 1,000 kilograms, so it can kind of go a bit toe to toe with the current crop of supercars out there. Let's be fair.
Yeah, and there seems to be a bit of a trend. I mean, there's always been a trend, but there seems to be a bit of a trend for handcrafted, very specialist motor vehicles out there at the moment. I don't know if that means there's more wealthy people to buy these things, and we won't go into that, but I think it's great. I think it's one of the best looking, and I'm all about the aesthetic. I don't care how it goes, as long as it drives okay. And actually, they do mention that this is something that the owner could theoretically daily. You could theoretically drive this every day to and from, say, an office or another workplace. But who knows? It's going to be awesome. But like you say, I think if this is the start of what Radford are doing, I'm pretty excited about this.
Yeah,
because
I'm on board for this as well. And apparently they're going to open up as well for a lot of scope of personalization.
Yeah,
So
that makes
each
sense.
62 could be completely unique cars.
Yes.
I will say at 1 meter, 1 tall, I'm going to be like Dino in the Flintstones in this thing.
Yeah, I mean, not to besmirch your character or your fiscal ability, I don't think you're going to get anywhere near one of these, mate. So I don't think you need to worry about it.
Well, that's a weight off my mind. Thank you very much, Stuart.
Yeah, exactly. We've got a comment come in. Thank you very much to everyone watching and dropping comments. We appreciate it. We enjoy the interaction and the engagement. My handbook of all things internet tells me that we should interact with you as an audience. So, quick question from Liam. Thanks for watching, Liam. Can I get the kids in the back? No. First of all, you can't. There's no back seats as far as I'm aware. And secondly, this car's going to be expensive. No children. I think that's...
Yeah, there's maybe like a roof rack option that they can put on it.
Kids on a roof rack. All right.
Why not?
I mean, generally speaking, that's probably not a bad move, right? So,
to be fair, we're a few weeks into the summer holidays. I'm sure there's a lot of parents out there that would definitely support this theory.
Tell us in the comments, what do you think of putting your own children on a roof rack and driving them to wherever you're going? I can't imagine that's safe. But the Radford 62.2, the brainchild of the very famous Ant Anstead, the even more famous, the Duke of Corners, Jensen Button, your words, not mine, and designer Mark Stubbs, not the guy that used to be on and around the match of the day commentary. What do you think of the 62.2? Tell us in the comments. I like it, if that helps in any way, shape, or form.
Hi, I'm Lewis Kent, and you're watching Is It Fast?
There you go. Just in case you've forgotten you were watching Is It Fast there, that's Lewis Kent, the 2020 TCR UK champion and leading the current 2021 championship.
He is that.
He is that. He's a very talented young man. Should we move on to things that are expensive?
Oh, go on.
So, if you are a member of, I don't know, say royalty, maybe some sort of politician, then don't worry, because Mercedes have got you covered. This, everybody, this is the new Mercedes S-Class Guard. So the S80 Guard 4MATIC, this is basically for dignitaries, heads of state, famous people, or people with 387,600 quid. You've got a choice of 4 or 5 seats, but the main thing about this, and it's called a Guard for a reason, it's bulletproof, bomb-proof, I think missile-proof, if it's one of those little missiles that you shoot out of a handheld device. Run-flat tyres are on there as well, so that means that you can go up to 18 miles with a punctured set of tyres. It's got electromechanical doors and hydraulic windows, which means you can close everything quickly if you are under attack from the baddies. Fitted with an automatic fire extinguishing system and emergency fresh air. So if there's a toxic attack, don't know why that is the international sign for bad stuff. And the Mercedes say that it can resist gunfire from an assault rifle, yet armor-piercing ammunition, and achieved top scores in the 3 explosive resistance test. Who knew that there were such a thing? And in there, you've got buttons like a James Bond motor vehicle to keep you safe and sound. So the S-Class Guard for all your regal protection needs. What do we reckon of this? This is good that this exists, right?
Oh, this is absolutely essential for any trip to Morrison's, let's be fair. For the rich, the famous, the paranoid, and anyone that's really pissed off the royal family. So Virginia Roberts, this is the car for you. It is absolutely fantastic. It's got also sirens. Wait, we have lost this. Anyway, it's got sirens and flashing
We're
lights.
going out live! And there's the Berry is modelling it for us.
Oh, it's absolutely mental. It's got sirens, flashing lights, radios, a panic alarm system, a little bit like any ice cream truck in the Gorbals. It does offer so much as well. The leather interior looks stunning. You can see why a head of state or anything like that would actually want to be in this car. But it's really put the crash test dummies, not the Canadian rockers. It's really, as you say, it can do assault rifles, everything like that. The name kind of annoys me, though, a little bit.
What?
It's called the GAR 4MATIC. it sounds like one of the rappers that this thing will be protecting. Goodness knows if Biggie and Tupac had one of these, they might still be with us making music.
I don't know, first of all, if any of them were shot in a car.
I think they all were, weren't they?
Well, I don't know. I don't know enough about it.
Please give us your comments if you know anything about deceased rappers.
I mean, this whole segment has been quite close to an Ofcom issue. Are you trying to get us taken off air? The Mercedes S80 Guard Formatic. So tell us in the comments, not about anything else that's just been said, but about this car. Would you be happy to see the Prime Minister rock around in one of these, or would you rather him rock around in an open-top vehicle so that he can, in fact, be shot? Political answers on a postcard. I thought that was probably going to be the most divisive thing that would be said today, but no. Turns out you've trumped me on that. Oh, well, maybe Trump will buy one of these to keep him safe. There you go. Oh, dear. Crikey O'Reilly. So, tell us in the comments what you think of that. Should we move on to things that are slightly less aggressive?
Oh, go on then.
Should we? I mean, why not?
Walk around naked in Denmark and it's not illegal.
That's right. Just in case you didn't know, you can walk around. You can walk around Denmark naked, and it's not illegal. Thanks for that,
Top
Stuart.
tip from Is It Fast podcast.
Top tip from Is It Fast podcast, Stuart from the past. There. So we move on to things that are slightly speedier now. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and people of all descriptions, let me introduce you to what is always very, very exciting, and that is news from Porsche. So Porsche, they have a strong and very rich history in the world of motorsport, and they have a strong and rich history of selling us cars that can't be used on the road, but are going to cost us lots and lots of dinero. And Porsche this week announced the Porsche 911 GT2 RS Clubsport 25. It's not a very catchy name, but it does look incredible. So the new 911 GT2 RS Clubsport 25 is highly exclusive. Only 30 of these track-focused anniversary, if you like, Porsche GT2s will be created and sold, but they have been designed, developed, and released to celebrate and mark the 25th anniversary of their relationship with Manthey Racing. So Manthey and Porsche have enjoyed a very close relationship since the racing team was founded in 1996 by Olaf Manthey. Several successes across Le Mans, the WEC series, GT series. The history between these two manufacturers just goes way, way back. And to celebrate, they have made and released one of these. You're looking at £450,000. I think it looks every one of those pounds. I think it's an incredible machine. I'm a bit of a Porsche fanboy, but there we have it. The 911 GT2 RS Clubsport 25. Answers on a postcard. What do we reckon?
No, you're entitled to be a Porsche fanboy with this. This is just absolutely stunning. As you say, 30 only being made, so by the time you've got to this point, the podcasts are probably already sold out, even at that price tag.
Yeah.
For it does just look so beautiful in the matte gun grey that we're kind of looking at right now. It's just laden with aggressive aerodynamic things for improving your on-track performance. Have you seen the size of the park bench spoiler that they've put on the back?
It's savage,
but it still looks awesome.
It's just a very, very, very focused machine. I thought I would have got bored of Porsche releasing machinery that the mere mortal cannot afford, that very lucky and wealthy individuals will be able to enjoy exclusively on track. But this is what you want from your sports car manufacturers, from your racing teams. You want these things. You know, hopefully we'll be able to see some of these at some point in the future. I doubt it, but they are incredible. And I love when Porsche release a new GT product. I love when they release things for a reason. Porsche always do everything for a reason, I find. And what better reason than to celebrate what has been a very successful relationship between themselves and Manthey. I think it's incredible. But tell us in the comments, what do you think of the Porsche GT2 RS Clubsport 25 Anniversary Edition? The GT GT2 and the GT products and Porsche GT2 products and cars are taking part in a number of different motorsport disciplines. And I have always thought to myself, what if there was a handy way, just a handy way of keeping up with all my favorite motorsport championships around the world in, say, a handy app?
Results Hub. All motorsport results, all in one place. And now there's an app. Take results with you on the go as we bring you the latest standings from championships around the world. And there's more. Use the app to see who is racing and where with our handy calendar feature. Download the app now. Results Hub. All motorsport results, all in one place.
That's right, Results Hub, all motorsport results, all in one place. The handy app that you can download directly to your iOS telephone device to keep up with all the latest news from your favorite championships. Sorry about cutting you off there, Stu.
That's right. It's probably something sarcastic. Anyway.
Probably.
No, the Result Hub app is actually fantastic. It really is. They update it practically instantaneously as well. You're not going to sack there trying to kind of figure out, oh, is this up to date? Have they added up the points from last week or that? It's just there. It's ready.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
Yeah. Incredible. I would be lost without it. What time is it, Stu?
Forgot my watch again.
Me too.
Hey,
No.
time for Tik Tok.
That's right. It's time for Tik Tok. Every week we scour the internet to look for the latest in watch-related news. And this week, I'm going to brace you. I'm about to show you a video that if you're sensitive to light and noise, look away now. Waka waka, we've got a Casio for you. Woo! What a feast for the eyes and the ears.
What are they putting in the tea at Casio?
It's
It's like
the
being
most.
back at Eros and Ignite in Edinburgh at the Fountain Park.
It's
Jeez,
quite the trip. But this is the Casio Vintage with Pacman. So Casio are releasing and celebrating the release of their retro range by doing this particular matchup collaboration, whatever you want to call it, with the Waka Wakas at Pacman. What do you think of this? I think it's crazy.
So it amazes me that the first kind of digital Casio, the F100, came out in 1978. This is how old this actually is, and they're kind of going back, so they're pairing up with something else iconic as well. Were you a Pacman man at all?
Was I a Pacman man?
Is that how they called it? Yeah.
I don't know if Pacman's older than coming up with silly names for fans, but I kind of am. I've got to be in the mood for it. It's got to be in an arcade. I've got to be half cut. Or in a pub, because now you get arcade machines in pubs.
Yeah, I genuinely remember playing Pacman on my Amiga 600. Once again, though, you can do, it tells you the time, it does your stopwatch, it does your digital alarm. You can also get a calendar feature on this. I've got no idea how that will work with 4 buttons and a very tiny digital screen. But I love this. The watch strap is absolutely fantastic. You get the backdrop of the maze pattern of the Pacman world, even in the box. It's Casio, but it's so nostalgic on so many levels. The ghosts in Pacman all have names.
Really?
Yep, yes, they do. And I've got them in front of me because I can never remember them. It's Blinky, Pinky, Inky, and Clyde. I'm not making that up.
That has made me so happy.
Yeah. Hi, Other Stuart here. You're tuning in to Is It Fast?
This week, the very talented team at Morgan gave us something quite special. Morgan, famed for sticking to quite a rigid, but ever so slightly evolving design mantra. But they have come out with something called the Plus 4 CXT, and it is a £200,000 limited edition off-road version of its Plus 4 Roadster that you can go and order. So it has been designed explicitly, look at that, explicitly for overland adventure. What a Morgan phrase. So to ensure that the CXT's capability in extreme driving situations and environments, Morgan enlisted the help of Rally Raid UK. Rally Raid UK, famous for basically being the guys to go to when it comes to Dakar. So they have built 60 Dakar vehicles for 13 events over the years and never failed to have a finisher. So Rally Raid UK know what they're doing, and so Morgan gave them a ring. It's still, relatively speaking, a standard Plus 4, so it's still two-wheel drive through the rear wheels, still being driven by the BMW engine in the front, and so some of the gubbins inside are shared with BMW, but it does adopt the X-Drive electronic differential with bespoke software that provides 3 driving modes. So you can lock the diff completely, or you can make it ever so slightly softer. So basically it kind of zooms around on loose terrain a little bit better. It does have larger diameter wheels, tires, and the wheel arch has obviously been widened for a little bit more clearance. So the Morgan CXT, for people that want to go and do Dakar-related things without actually driving the Dakar. And there's Ray Mears climbing out of the car there. So what do we think of the Morgan Plus 4 CXT?
Well, when you said we were going to be looking at a Morgan, I really wasn't expecting a rally car. It's got a real aerial nomad type look to it.
Yeah.
As well. Very, very smart. Interesting to see a Morgan with a roll cage. Mm-hmm. And it still weighs less than 1,300 kilograms as well.
Yes, it's quite the thing. It's quite the thing. I've watched a lot of reviews. Morgan didn't invite us to try it out, which is fair enough. This is exactly the kind of thing that I would absolutely put in a ditch. But I've watched lots and lots of videos. The Carfection one, I must say, is particularly good. They're all good, but I like Carfection stuff. And it just looks like so much. I mean, obviously, a couple of $100,000 is going to put a lot of people off, but it is an absolute, and it's a limited run. But you never know; it might lead on to bigger and better things. But what a machine! I love how Morgan pushed the boundaries of what is possible. You know, I love Morgans anyway. I love the Plus 4, I love the Plus 6, love the Plus 8 when that was a thing. I love the Aero 8. I think Morgans are just great. I want to own one super badly. But this is cool. This is cool. It drives well, apparently.
Yeah, this is just built for an extreme Victorian safari.
Yeah, isn't it?
In the back, you've got room for the luggage, supplies, 2 tires, fuel, water containers, and there's also a rear rack with a toolbox and a room for your blunderbuss. It looks amazing. You cannot just imagine how much fun that would be. Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on, Morgan, let's have a go.
Let us have a go. Yeah. In anything. But yes, the Morgan CXT Plus 4. Tell us in the comments what you think of this very, very special off-road Dakar-esque Morgan. Very, very cool.
Hi, I'm Daniel Rowbottom, racing the British Touring Car Championship with Team Dynamics, and you're watching Is It Fast?
Thank you, Dan. So the reason we have Dan introducing that next segment, not that he realised he was going to, is because the British Touring Car Championship is about to hit its midway point, and it is headed to Knock Hill. And I think it's, first of all, just one of the prettiest settings for a racetrack in the entire world. There's not a lot going up that part of Scotland, to be completely honest with you, but it is just a beautiful setting. So as we head to the halfway point of the British Touring Car Championship, we have a number. In fact, everything's still to play for. So as we head into it, Ash Sutton is still holding the first position. Tom Ingram is holding number 2. And our very favourite Dan Roterbottom, who introduced that segment there, is in third, which is incredible. Last year at Knock Hill, it was Ash Sutton in his Infinity on the way to becoming the 2020 champion, who took 2 victories at Knock Hill, and Rory Butcher, whilst still driving a Ford Focus, taking a win at his home track, son of the chap who owns Knock Hill. So there you go. He knows it well. Family has been there for a fair few years. Looking forward to that.
Oh, very much so. Knock Hill was my home circuit growing up. I was in Edinburgh, and of course, it is just over the water in Fife. It's just over the 2 kilometres, but there's only about 9 turns to it. So there's a lot of, as you can see here, there's a lot of foot down driving, which is what we really want to see. You've touched on it there. There's only 12 points separating the top 3 with 5 races left after Knock Hill. Big question: can Dan do it again? Can he keep going?
I mean, it's a a circuit that the Civics should do well round. Yeah, potentially. I think it's very, very open. I don't know how much of this we're going to catch at Is It Fast, because we're filming a very, very, very cool thing on Sunday, so might have to watch the reruns. But yeah, I love Knock Hill. I think it's great. I think getting there's a bit of a pain in the rear end if you're trying to fly from this part of southern England, but incredible circuit. It's always makes for tight driving, spectacular driving, tough to overtake. People manage it somehow. I think you wouldn't like to call it. I think Rory took a victory last time out at Alton Park. I think Rory's going to take a victory here because he knows the track like the back of his hand. I think he's going to qualify well as well. I think he always brings his best performance. Gordon Shedden, of course, he has spent a lot of his time here as well. Very closely related. I mean, he's Rory Butcher's brother-in-law, so him. I think he'll do well as well. So yeah, I think it's going to be a pretty good weekend for the hatchbacks, and we'll see how they go. But yeah, very excited by this. To get to Knock Hill, you do have to go over the Firth of Forth. Luckily, there's a bridge, but you don't have to drive over. You can do what this chap did. So this is Lloyd. I don't know him personally, but Lloyd thought, how can I get across the Firth of Forth? Well, he did this. He got himself on what I am reliably informed is something called an e-foil. So an e-foil, for those who don't know, is an electronically powered surfboard with a hydrofoil underneath. And you can just about make out in his right hand, he has he has his remote control. But look at that. Look at that. Isn't that the coolest thing in the world?
You know what? I genuinely hate him. This is a very cool guy making this kind of James Bond effortless swinging in and out of the rail bridge. It just looks awesome. Yeah, and these things can go for about 120 minutes as well.
Really? Okay, cool.
Yeah. Maybe not kind of the flat out, but it's genuinely just hovering above the water. It just looks so cool.
It really looks incredible. I mean, I haven't been back to Scotland for a long time, thanks to the world we live in. But it just, between Knock Hill and this guy, it is making me pine for the driving roads of Scotland, the rainy fields of Ayrshire. It did make me want to do a little bit more research. E-foils are becoming more and more popular. So even though Lloyd there gives us a really, really good insight into what e-foils can be used for, just if you want to have a little look at what they look like. There you go. That's what's going on under the water. That's kind of the rest of it. You see. So this is from the company Flight, Flite. So thank you very much. And here you go. This is the Flight Ultra that we're looking at here. So there you go. This is what that. This
How much
is what
are
Lloyd.
Do we know cost?
I didn't do my research. I didn't want to know. It's very hard to find a price. I bet they're a couple of grand. Plus, yeah. But there we go.
So very brave of them also doing it in the Forth. That's going to be cold water.
Yeah, man, that is going to be cold as.
But it's still got to be better than using ScotRail. to get across the
Yeah, almost certainly. But how cool is that? The e-foils are cool anyway, but just when people use it to share their adventures like that, we appreciate it even more. So thanks, Lloyd. Thanks, Lloyd, for being not just dashing and James Bond-esque and making us all look bad, but also showing us what can be done if you have a modicum of physical fitness and an e-foil. So thanks for that. Here on Is It Fast, we do share live motorsport. And if you missed it, we told the world about this.
In the world of auto racing, drivers who don't use video games are the exception.
Racing is like the future of motorsport, so it's a great opportunity to catch up for us.
That's right. We bring you action of all descriptions on Is It Fast? And where we can, we try and bring it to you live. And we were very excited to announce earlier in the week that we have partnered with Blue Streak Esports, who will be showing one of the, if not the, most hotly contested sim racing championships of the year. So you'll be able to tune in to some of the best drivers from around the world taking part in some rather tasty competition on racetracks all over cyberspace. We're very, very, very excited about this. So make sure that you tune in from the beginning of September, where we will be sharing all sorts of weird and wonderful stuff, but most importantly, some really, really good racing. Isn't that exciting?
You know what? I cannot express how excited I am for this. They just look amazing. When I first saw the video, I was trying to figure out if the cars were real or not.
Yes,
that's how amazing these graphics are. These cars look amazing. This isn't a PlayStation 1 steering wheel where you're plugging your yellow, red, and white aux cables into the back of your telly in the spare room. These driving rigs that these guys use are a serious bit of kit. They look absolutely fantastic. And there's big money to be won in this league as well. Hi, Other Stuart here. You're tuning in to Is It Fast?
It is time for us to say good evening, goodbye, bon nuit, bitte danke. Thank you, as always, for joining us here on Is It Fast for all of your going quickly needs. We hope you enjoyed the show. We certainly always enjoy making it. If you haven't already, then make sure that you follow us on your social media platform of choice, not just to listen to these two chaps in their 30s talk and possibly offend people by accident, definitely by accident, but also to catch up with all the latest in the car and motorsport world. Anything that moves quickly, you will find it here on Is It Fast. Catch live motorsport from around the world, and very soon catch live motorsport from the world of sim racing, not to mention all sorts of lovely bits of original programming to entertain, inform, and until next week at 7 o'clock, bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye now.
Ha 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 ha!